When I reflect on this class, first of all, I can't believe it's almost over, and more importantly, how much I've learned about writing instruction, writing strategies, and writing assessments. Being a math and science teacher, this class really helped me remember how important writing is and that it is not just for ELA teachers. Making writing part of my curriculum is just as important. There are many ways to incorporate writing in math and science by having the students research scientific facts, write an essay on what they learned, or even write an informative paper covering famous scientists or mathematicians. I thought that the Department of Education's practice guide set out 4 very helpful recommendations for writing. Provide daily time for children to write, teach students the writing process and to write for a variety of purposes, teach students to become fluent with handwriting, spelling, sentence construction, typing, and word processing, and lastly, create an engaged community of writers. These recommendations seem so easy, but they can be hard to do every day if the teacher doesn't make them a priority. When I taught kindergarten, I had an author's island as one of my centers. The students could spend time here working on their writing journals, which mainly consisted of drawing, but as the year progressed, so did their writing. I enjoyed getting a refresher course on the writing process. The writing process consists of pre-writing, drafting, revising, editing, and publishing. And don't forget, handwriting / spelling and sentence construction are just as important. I thought that it is interesting that this process is circular and not necessarily sequential. You can revise your pre-writing before you start drafting. A child can edit and then go back and revise. In our textbook, Best Practices in Writing Instruction, it gives teachers important writing skills that need to be taught along with this process. Teachers need to be teaching handwriting and spelling and sentence construction. I think this is important to remember because so often in the older grades, the focus gets put on other things. I believe in what we learned this summer that modeling is the best way to demonstrate the thinking and the motive behind the writing process. I enjoyed using a mentor text when conducting a think or write aloud to help guide my student writers. Learning about the writer's workshop was so interesting and gave me good ideas on how to incorporate something similar in my classroom. Writer's workshop consists of mentor text, direct instruction of writing skills, many lessons of one skill at a time, writing prompts along with practice writing, and lastly, students sharing their writing. I found it helpful to learn that when you model writing skills for your class, there are 4 aspects that a good teacher should include. The 4 write aloud components include the what, label the strategy you are using, explain what you are doing. The how, share how your brain is using the strategy by explaining your thinking and showing your work. The why, to describe why you are using the strategy and why it is helpful. And lastly, the when, tell the students when the strategy gets applied. Learning about different writing strategies was also very helpful. Teaching this process can be overwhelming, so it is nice to have different ways I can teach it and explain it to my students. For example, I learned new ways to help my students when it comes to expository or informational writing. I think that being a math and science teacher, this is a genre that I would use the most. So some writing strategies for expository writing include POW, P, pick topic, O, organize ideas, W, write. Secondly, tree, T, topic sentence, trunk, reasons, R, explanation, E, and ending, E. Lastly, tide. Topic introduction for T, important evidence, I, detailed explanation, D, and lastly, end for E. All right. Let's move back over here. I was moving the video so you could see the little house image. Okay. All righty. Also, learning about developing and using writing assessments has been very helpful. I have used rubrics before, but it was very helpful to learn more about how rubrics help with writing, with writing is assessments and how to create rubrics for writing tasks. Our textbook, Best Practices, had great activities and suggestions on how to implement assessments for learning writing skills. Some writing assessments for formative assessments for learning include clarify criteria, writing samples, provide feedback, students receive peer support, and students take ownership of their learning. These activities that Graham sets out in the book help teachers lay out a framework that gives students the skills and knowledge they need in order to grow as writers. Putting all these strategies, instructions, and activities together should lead to student achievement in writing. Lastly is my reference pages. Thank you so much. It has been a great summer and a great course. Thank you so much.